Hello everybody and welcome to Uproot Reddit. New moms and dads out there, what is the one thing that would make you panic more than anything? Your kids touching a hot stove? Or breaking a very valuable vase? Or getting kidnapped by your own mother? Sure, the first two experiences will surely set off parental alarms everywhere. But having your kid taken by your own mother/mother-in-law? What are the odds? Well, those odds are very slim. Unless your mom is like Reddit user SLOPPYEYESCREAM's mom, who is, in more ways than one, a bit different. In today's post, no mom, it's called kidnapping. I forgot to mention that SLOPPYEYESCREAM is active in the military. By the way, a big salute to you. So military life is already stressful enough. Having mom kidnap your kid? Let's just dive into the story to see how they reacted to the weird yet even more stressful situation. This was posted on our military stories and our Just No Mill. I was told to post here as well. Cheers! This is a story as a result of a PCS move, a military move. Back home, but still active duty, and the craziness that ensues. And here's the original title, quote, "Mother kidnaps my child. I reorganize the house." I had served in both the regular Army and Special Operations Forces community for just over 10 years when an opportunity arose. It was an assignment in the middle of nowhere, but was near what I claimed to be my hometown. I'm a military brat. I would later find out that the job was horrible, but that has nothing to do with the story. We had been in small town USA for a couple of months, and we were pretty much settled in. My wife and I were not exactly prepared mentally though. Both sets of grandparents, specifically grandmas, had been away from their grandchildren since they were born. They were like flies at the house for the first couple of months. It was finally starting to subside when this happened. I should mention that my mom is different. At least I think she is. I've always been the independent type, and I rarely, if ever, call home. It's not because I don't love my parents or friends. I just don't feel the need to talk unless I really have something to say. I feel less of a need to call my mother. Generally speaking, don't expect a phone call from me. Why? She's pretty scattered and typically has nothing useful to say. She likes to gossip, but she's the lady in the chain of gossipers that twists information and relays the wrong facts, or tries to convince me of things. Typical phone calls from my mother are below. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Hey, what are you doing? Nothing. Remember Jim Bob? No. Yeah, you do. You went to the pool with him once while you were 6 months old, when we lived in Germany. Sorry, Mom, I don't remember Jim Bob. Yeah, you do. No, Mom, I don't remember him. Well, he died. Thought you would want to know. Kind of a weird icebreaker, don't you think, Mom? Dear reader, this happens all the time. I've spoken on the phone with her no more than 20 times in the last decade, and at least 10 people I don't know have died. Unrelated, but this is our last conversation. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Hi, you sound sleepy. What are you doing? Sleeping. Midday nap? No, it's 2 a.m. I am sleeping. First name, middle name, last name. What country are you in? Lebanon. What are you doing there? Army work. I called to tell you that random lady who used to watch you wrestle in high school passed away. Just thought you would want to know. Love you. Bye. I'm bad, but she worries. I have been injured in combat 3 times. I figure I'll just tell her when I get back most times. Now, back to small town USA. It's a Saturday. I'm looking forward to having some time off. My wife was a swing shift ICU nurse at the time, and she was at work. I was home with the crib midget, my 2-year-old, and the miniature human, 6-year-old. It was just the men at the house. I had woken up, fed the humans, and plopped them down in the living room to watch Paw Patrol while I took a shower. I get the army essentials and return feeling refreshed from the shower. I conduct another inventory, but something is missing. Cake, my crib midget 2-year-old, is missing. He is a bipedal monster, so I don't think much of it. I just ask Kelly, mini-human, 6-year-old, where his brother is. I get the typical shoulder shrug response. Great. I now have 3,200 square feet of house to work with. I will systematically check the house, either finding him in his room watching TV or exploring the cleaning products under the sink. The first sweep was unsuccessful. The second sweep was unsuccessful. I now enlist the help of Kelly to find the speed demon. We are now about 10 sweeps in and I am panicking. I've talked to my wife many times on the phone. We have had the lost conversations. Babe, I lost my car keys. Do you know where they are at? Babe, I lost my army thing. Do you know where it is? No husband ever wants to call their wife and say, babe, you know that bipedal toddler we have? Yeah, that one? Do you know where it's at? I was there though. The house we lived in was old. The locks on some of the doors were different. Very old and somewhat complicated to open. Kate could not penetrate the front door. It just wasn't physically possible. This dude is Houdini. He was an escape artist. I was at my wit's end. I had to call my wife, and the conversation went exactly how anyone would expect it to go. She was worried. She was hysterical. There was no way I would ever hold that #1 dad coffee mug ever again. Frick. I did one last sweep under the direction of my wife, but it was now time to hand in my man-parent card and call the police. 911. Ring, ring, ring. 911, what is your emergency? I lost my son. Sir, you lost your child? Yes, I took a shower and now my 2-year-old is missing. I have checked the house and he is not here. What's your location, sir? Address. What is your son wearing? Thomas the Tank Engine shirt, blue diaper. Where did you last see him? I have a large bay window. I mean, very large. Something caught my eye. The reflection of sunlight that bounces off cars screams through the window when they pass or park. A car had just parked in front of my house. It was my mother. Great! I'm now about to have a mom conversation, and this is how it would play out in my head. In my head, it actually didn't happen. Hey, Mom. Hey, remember that toddler I had? Yeah? Well, I lost him. Bye. I am dreading the fact that I have 911 on the line and I'm about to tell my mother the dreaded news. Then I see it. What was it? Cake. My frickin' toddler. I kindly explained to 911 that I had found my human. Now I was only a bad father in the eyes of my wife and the entire dispatch center. I was seething with anger. Now, I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, super calm, even in firefights. I simply don't stress out about much. This was not the case. I go charging out of the house. What in the world do you think you're doing? What? I just went to the grocery store. With my child? You took my child. Yeah, I stopped by and asked if the boys wanted to go. Cake did. You flippin' stole my kid, Mom. Stole my kid. No, I didn't. I asked. Cake wanted to go, and Kelly didn't. I told Kelly to tell you. Side note, Paw Patrol is like a trance for your kids. The rapture could happen around kids while watching cartoons, and they are unaware. Goodness forbid the cable goes out, though. Then the real chaos starts. I'm a warfighter with 14 combat deployments. I have said, Daddy doesn't want to watch Barney for the 20th time today exactly once. There are some fights that just are not worth it. You told Kelly? You told my 6-year-old to relay a message to me? You thought that would work? Did you make that message contingent on a toy because he didn't know where his brother was? Well, I told him. Mom, you stole my kid. Then she flippin' said it. I am a grandma. I can take him. Mom, you stole my kid. I just took him. It's not called took. It's called kidnapping. Oh my goodness, I didn't kidnap him. You walked into the house, asked 2 children if they wanted to go, told one to relay a message to me. Why did you not ask or tell me? I screamed out. I thought you knew. I lost my nerve. It went on and on with her trying to convince me of her point. I was not having it. I was beyond mad. I called my dad to get his opinion and he just laughed. Grandma is in trouble. She was leaving anyway, so I couldn't kick her out. It didn't even concern her mentally. She was oblivious to the gravity and severity of the situation. I was not done yet though. It just so happened that this specific weekend was a 4-day weekend for me. I had the next 2 days off with the boys. My mom was unaware. She called on Sunday and asked what time I was dropping the boys off. Ding, 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 light bulb moment. We had just adopted a new dog that was crate training. Now let's capitalize on this. Do you think you can watch the boys at the house so you can take Lola out? I don't want her in the cage all day. Sure, I can do that. Great. Now my mom would be at my house from around 0600 to 1900. Even better. My dad would be at work as well. D-Day 0600. My mom arrives at the house, still oblivious that I was still angry. No worries. I now have 12 hours to work out my frustration. I depart the house and promptly arrive at her house, find the spare key, and let myself in. I reorganize everything. I mean everything. It didn't take long to do the living room. I moved the couch, I moved the love seat, I moved my father's chair, the coffee table, the TV, everything gets rearranged. I even moved pictures from wall to wall and used sticky tack to hang them upside down or wonky. Moving into a new place can be a hassle during military moves. I love cooking. The kitchen and wood shop are my sanctuaries. And it's such a pain in the butt to move into a new kitchen and get things where you want them. What's not a pain? Reorganizing someone's kitchen. Everything from top to bottom was reorganized. The powder room was close to the kitchen, so I put plates under the sink in the powder room and toilet paper in the kitchen drawers. Again, everything was moved. I worked my way through the house, ensuring that nothing was left untouched. The only room I didn't enter was the master bedroom. I'm one of 3 siblings. They have sexed it up 3 times in my brain. I was not interested or mentally willing to mess with that room. I did, however, take great pride in her cricket room to ensure that I moved everything. My last act of flip you in the house was taking every single remote in the house. TV, DVR, cable, lights, you name it. If it was a remote, it was now my possession. I then returned home at normal time. The changeover was typical. She asked me how my day was, and let me tell you, it was a satisfying day of work for me. She acted as if the kidnapping event never happened. Well, she was about to be reminded that I didn't forget. It was time to crack a beer, play with the boys, and wait for that phone call. Ring, ring, ring. Remember, she is my mom. I love her, but she is different. Were you at the house today? Brain. Pfft, is she serious? What? Did you stop by the house today? I think we were robbed. Robbed? Yeah, robbers typically move your stuff around. Yes, I stopped by the house. You rearranged the living room? My dad just gets home, and during the conversation, I hear my dad talking as he enters the house. What the flip? Carlo, what in the world did you do to the house? I didn't do it. OP did. She is oblivious still. Just looking at the living room, she laughs a bit and we conclude the conversation. Now I am baffled. Oh well. Ring, ring, ring. Where in the heck are my pots and pans? There's toilet paper under the kitchen sink. Toilet paper does not go there. My goodness, OP. Dad in the background. Where's the remote, Carla? I hooked everything back up. I just moved it. Things still worked. Carla, remote. My mother is now walking through the house. She arrives in her arts and crafts cricket room. First name, middle, last. What the heck did you do? I reorganized everything for you. Oh my gosh. I'll pause. Carla, where is the remote for the TV? Where are the remotes? Oh, I took them. I called out your name. I thought you heard me. She now explains to my father. Now there is hysterical laughter in the background. I'm on my way over. She arrived at the house, and I'm willing to break bread and settle this under one condition. All you have to do is say you're sorry for kidnapping my child and you won't ever do it again. But I didn't. You want the remotes back? OP, I am sorry for kidnapping your kid and I will never do it again. I'm sorry for kidnapping Cake and I will never do it again. Thank you. What time are you dropping the boys off tomorrow? Oh, I think you should come here until you figure out where your pots and pans are. See you at 6. Love you. Bye. And that's that. Military life is different. I mean, really different. I never thought in a million years I would live in my hometown and still be in the Army. It was great at times. I was totally not expecting all the things that come with living in my hometown after being away for over a decade. The grandparents wanted to make up for years of not seeing them, and they did. They were obviously some learning struggles. Carla admitted defeat and my dad eventually got his remotes back. Everybody won. She is still a crazy lady. And I love her, but boy is she different. Cheers. And here are some edits from Sloppy Ice Cream. Quote, changed power room to powder room, because I'm an idiot. I was active duty during this time, but hated my job. Thus, I went to assessment and selection, and then a follow-on 6-month course to get myself a different job. Talk about sweet revenge, in a comical way. New grandmas and grandpas, please do the new parents a favor and don't just assume that you can just waltz into their home and take your grandkids to the store without informing the new parents. This is why communication is super important. Otherwise, someone would get arrested. Kind of extreme, but given this kind of situation, it's fitting. Well, that's all the time we have for today. We'll be back for more crazy situations posts right here on Uproot Reddit, and we'll see you all next time.